to our lovely afternoon. We're enjoying the sun and we've got some nice cool lemon and water.
Cheers everybody.
Cheers. It's very nice, and I've just cut the lemons up, haven't I, and put the water in the fridge. And it's a beautiful day and we want to bring some upliftment to our channel today. So I'm going to start off by telling you lemons and water to have in the house is supposed to be a good omen. So I've got lots of lemon and water in my house at the moment. And we also found out a lot of Himalayan salt lamps are good, aren't they, Pam?
Yes, the Himalayan salt lamps, the natural salt has really good properties, and they actually purify the air. So and as well, they actually break down those electromagnetic forces that we talk about so often. So they do work, and they have a lot of other health benefits to help soothe and enhance your healthy well-being, which is what we're all about, isn't it?
Yes, and we did go to Norfolk and put our feet in the sea again, didn't we? And it was beautiful, weren't it?
Yeah, it was absolutely wonderful. We had a lovely day, didn't we?
We did, it was beautiful. Gale force winds, but I tell you what, I wouldn't have changed it for the world.
We weren't going to let it stop us, were we?
No, it was wonderful, it was. And we want to talk about some nice things to have around the house. Plants are very good for you as well, and Pam's got you tell them about the plants.
We're just talking about things that can sort of enhance the atmosphere and the energy in your house, so to bring in that positive energy and help get rid of any negativity that may be there. And plants are actually really good to have in a house, because not only do they put all that goodness into the air, they actually work wonders with absorbing any negative energy in there by
78%.
Yeah, 78% they reduce it per hour. So that's a really high percentage, isn't it?
Yeah, so I always have a couple of plants in my house, and I do like my plants. They look lovely to look at, and they're always good energy. And also decluttering, that's really good for you. If you've got any corners that are all cluttered or any doorways that are half blocked, just try and unclutter them all, because it will help the energy flow through the house more, won't it, Pam?
Yes, and I think like different areas of your house, so like when you're walking in through your front door, think about keeping it minimalist. You don't want to walk in your front door and fall over coats and shoes all piled up on the floor, do you? So always good if you can put things like in a cupboard or something. So keeping things sort of clear, it allows that energy to flow, because there's nothing to obstruct it, is there?
No, and when you're sitting there, always try and have positive thoughts, because what you think, you circulate around your house. And if you're going to sit in a chair and you're just going to think negative thoughts all the while, you're going to build up that energy field around you. And I spoke to a scientist once, and he was telling me that his wife got into a negative field of energy, and it took her 2 years to come out of it. And he said it took 2 years to unblock, and the only way she got out of it was to try and think positive all the while. So remember, what energy fields you are building up around yourself, they will affect things that come in the future. So always try to have a positive thought about everything, because that is your energy field. And even through bad times, try and think a little bit of light at that end of that tunnel. What do you say, Pam?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. What Wendy says is 100% true, and like you say, nobody wants to bring in negative energies and difficulties, so keeping those positive thoughts going, that will enhance what you bring in. And I mean, there's quite a few ways that you can sort of enhance that positive energy within the home. You can use like reed diffusers, aromatherapy, and like
water features.
Yeah, water features, and a lot of the essential oils help towards that. Obviously the different oils have different properties. You know, lavender is always a good one, isn't it?
It's good. It helps you relax
yeah,
and calming, isn't it? And there's so many different oils that you can get to suit you. Primrose oil is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, primrose
as well?
oil is a good one. Yeah, there are so many different oils, and like you say, to have a nice fragrance in your rooms as well is always lovely.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Bay leaves are a good one. Bay leaves have some really good properties and are good to put around in a home. That invites in positive energy.
And you can get the crystals too that you can actually burn in an oil burner, and the crystals are beautiful,
Yes,
aren't
the
they?
simmering crystals, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, not only have you got your beauty of the crystals, but they come in all different fragrances, don't they?
You can get angel wings, baby powder, sweet pea. There's just so many, and they're so beautiful. And as soon as you open your door, if you want a light fragrance of a flowery one, or you know, if you want like a yin yang one or something, you can get all the different fragrances, and they do entrance a home, don't they, as soon as you walk in. So make your house your own wonderland. Fill it up with the things that are going to make you feel better. And the most important thing of all is really you've got to think positive, and thinking positive can make you stay positive. I mean, I've seen people where they've gone from one bad relationship to another and nothing ever works out, but they're not giving themselves a year or two to clear those energy fields. And if you're going from one negative thing straight into another thing, it can go completely wrong simply because you've built up an energy field of negativity. And I do believe before you can love anyone else, you've got to love yourself, and loving yourself is a big part of having a lovely relationship with someone, isn't it,
Which
Pam?
is true. Like you say, you've got to think about the things that make you happy, the things that bring you joy and upliftment. And when you've got that inner contentment and your own happiness, then you can begin to go forward and find more happiness. Because, like you say, what you think and what you put in those thought processes, that's what you're going to bring in. So that's really important. And as well, like with the feng shui, that all makes a difference, doesn't it, to the balance of rooms in homes as well.
Yeah,
So think
a good energy in your home is inviting people in, and they'll feel that energy when they come to visit you. So I think what we put around ourselves and around our home is what invites people into the home, because, you know, make it welcoming, make it uplifting. Also, I just want to say, for me, there's a couple of books I'd like to mention to you that are really, really good to read. One is NHS Eler, Andrew Buxton King, and hers is a true story. She was a first Reiki master who went to work in Great Ormond Street at a hospital. It's a truly inspiring story. It will touch your heart, but it also shows that she came out of her pain and misery, and she done something positive to help others with that. And also Shadows of the Workhouse by Jennifer Worth. It goes back to like the first form of social security we ever had in this country. And I think it's important for people to read books like that, because although sometimes people feel hard done by and nothing's going right for them, we have so much to be thankful for in life, you know, and always be thankful for what you have in your life, not the things you don't have.
That's right. Yeah, it's about that inner contentment, isn't it? You know, we don't need many things. We need our basics, things that we've got just for basic needs. That's what we need. We don't need the latest of everything, the most up-to-date everything. What we actually need for our basic needs is really quite minimal, and I think it's really important to focus on just having those basic needs, you know. And it's always good to help others, you know, if you want to. If you feel like you've got too much stuff, have a declutter, because, you know, those things that you declutter with can help others who perhaps are not so lucky enough to have those things in their life, you know, which are probably their basic needs. You know, we are very lucky and very privileged to have some of the things that we have, aren't we? And
also feeding your mind from an early age. I know when I was a little girl, and I remember, my mind goes back to being a year old, and I first saw spirit when I was 4, and my imagination was opened up at an early age. And I know I read a book then, and it was about a secret doll's house in Hyde Park, and I went there for years afterwards. I think I was the only girl who believed in Father Christmas at the age of 11 still, but
I still do, Wendy, and I'm not giving away my age. I believe in him.
So I think feeding your imagination is really, really important. So even if you are going through worry, like pick up a book because you can be inspired so much. Even listening to music is inspiring, and you know, your well-being is connected to all of those things that we are telling you about. So, you know, and me and Pam, we are going to get some nice bay leaves to put around the house, aren't we,
We
Pam?
are going to do that, and as you know, we've got our pyrite, which we talked about, which will bring in abundance. And when you talk about abundance, that can mean abundance of anything. It can mean abundance of happiness, you know, abundance of just a love of life. It's not necessarily about wealth. Abundance can be many things, can't it? So.
And because I've got my happiness, I'm going for the wealth
Yeah.
this time. I've got my happiness, so I do.
think we both have, haven't
Yeah.
we? We're ready for that, and we're ready to do some
Yeah.
more good, aren't we?
Yeah, we are,
That's
and
what we
I'm
do.
sure that will come in when the time is right. I just know it. So, like you say, build up energy, always build up positive energy and positive thoughts, and you won't go far wrong. Next week, we're going to cover a blog. It's going to be a little bit spooky. We're going to cover
Prepare
spooky
yourself.
houses next week. I've had real encounters with real ghosts, so I do know what all that is about. I've took ghost over, and as I say, I think it's something we ought to pass out there. And I do want to talk a little bit about the prisons next week and what I feel about those, and how to help lift all those dark energies associated with prisons. So I say it's not going to be a blog for the faint-hearted, but I do think people will get a lot out of
It's
it.
going to be really useful information that will give people a little bit of an insight. And I think what we will be talking about is, like, you know, to be aware, and when you've got that awareness and notice things different around certain people that is perhaps a little bit out of character, it's do you know what I mean, because you've got that information, you'll be able to perhaps look a bit further and to see what could be the root cause of it, because a lot of the times, you know, there is always a root cause, isn't it? And it might not necessarily be what you think it is.
Yeah, and we just want to recommend another lovely pub we went to last week. We don't go in the pubs, we have the food in the garden, and we
Oh,
do
it was
love
so
the food.
beautiful. Yes, outside in the marquee, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
and we went to the Fox at Carlton, and it was absolutely beautiful. Beautiful gardens. They've got 3 gazebos, haven't they,
Yes,
where you
yes.
can sit under, or
Yeah.
there's table and chairs in the garden, or you can go inside. But it was so beautiful and quiet, and it's like you're in another world there.
Yes,
So,
beautiful.
you know, and even if you haven't got a car to get out and you can walk, you know, just go and find a local little beauty spot that you love to be in, and it will make a world of difference. The worst thing you can do is sit in one room and worry all the while. So that's some good advice for you. So we'll be back next week with, like I say, a spooky one, won't we,
We
Pam?
will. So prepare yourself for it. Like I say, lots of good information coming your way.
Yes.
But as Wendy says, not for the faint-hearted, but it's also valuable information.
So as you say, bay leaves for your house, some nice crystals. It's
Lemons,
like
lemons
lemons,
in a jug of
water.
water.
That's all good energy, and like you say, positive thinking. So remember all those things, and you won't go far wrong. Before we leave,
And the plants. Let me just say about
and
the plants.
yeah.
We've got the bamboo plants, which is beautiful, and that's known for bringing in the luck. And also the jade, the money plant as well, which is
And
also
the money
a good
plant.
one. Yeah, the money plant.
And a money
So
plant.
guess who's going off to get money plants for
Wendy.
their homes?
Pam,
And
yeah.
we'll stand it next to the pyrite.
We will, yeah. We're going to get there, believe us.
Yeah,
So
one way.
we
or
hope-
another.
we hope you're all doing really well. We send lots of love out on
Yes,
this
to
vlog.
all of you, yes.
I'm going down the coast for a few days again this weekend, but hey-oh, it's meant to be. And
Yes.
Pam's going to have a busy weekend with your family, aren't you?
Yes, we've got quite a busy weekend ahead, but yeah, looking forward to it. Would I rather be at the seaside dipping my toes? Well, we'll wait and see.
You could come if you wanted, but I know you got to be with your family this weekend.
Exactly, yeah.
So, but lots of love and light to all of you. I'd like to say hello to my sister who's at the seaside, and she's got all the children down there. Have
Oh,
a lovely
Hope
time.
you're having a wonderful time, and the weather's been cracking for you, so lots of fun to be had there, isn't it?
So we'll end this on
We'll
a lemon
raise a
of
glass.
water.
Cheers.
Cheers and
Here's to
cheers,
us and
cheers
here's
to
to
all
you.
of you. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
I'm going to switch it off.
Right, let's see that. I think that